Introducing the all-new Corolla.
The economy in Guam is never really very predictable because it's such a small and wide open economy that what would be relatively minor external events tend to be huge here, or they're reflected on a larger scale here. But I'm not anticipating any major external events.
Bank of Guam Vice President and economist Joseph Bradley today shared his predictions for the local economy in 2014. If any world events were to alter Guam's economy this year, Bradley says it would be a change in the economic outlook in China and tensions over disputed islands in the South and East China Seas.
Just a few months ago, they launched their first aircraft carrier, and they're very actively expanding their Navy. And if they actually engage in even minor hostilities, I think we'd see a lot of military activity here, and probably in the Northern Marianas as well.
And while there has been a lot of hype about funding for civilian buildup projects in the federal omnibus spending bill, Bradley says the amount appropriated for Guam projects is quite average.
Now, we do have about $85 million in support of the Marine relocation. But I remember 4 years ago we were talking about anywhere from 12 to 20 billion. 85 million is kind of a small blip on the radar in that, I'm afraid. I mean, it helps. At least the floodgates are starting to open a little bit.
Still, Bradley notes that a gradual buildup will be better for Guam's economy in the long run compared to what had been planned for the island. With the discussion of the deportation of citizens of the freely associated states in the news this week, PNC asked Bradley about the impact the population has on Guam's economy. He first noted some of the statistics shared about FAS immigrants, pointing out that roughly 40% of those incarcerated at the Department of Corrections are FAS citizens, and that $125 million in social spending went to habitual residents a couple of years ago. Still, Bradley cautions against stereotyping a population.
My concern is that, as so many times in the past, we've picked an ethnic group that is a new group immigrating to Guam and painted all of them with the same broad brush. We stereotype them and we say, okay, he's a criminal, so they're all criminals, which isn't true. There are a lot of FAS citizens who are highly productive members of our society, a lot of them who are in our educational system and doing quite well.
As far as tourism goes, Bradley says the Guam Visitors Bureau was wise to promote Guam in markets outside of Japan, as the falling yen has cut into Japanese visitor arrivals.
Fortunately, GVB did some very good things after the earthquake. They refocused their marketing attention in South Korea and Taiwan. Those numbers have grown really spectacularly over the last 3 years, and they've offset the drop in the Japanese market.